And what else do we have? Ah, the clutch. Here's the clutch. This goes on the engine, and it free spins. It's a centrifugal clutch. So what that means is, once the engine, you step on the gas and the engine starts to rev up, and as the engine revs up, this clutch engages and drives the rear wheels, so that hopefully, if it works correctly, I think it will, when the engine is idling, this will be disengaged. So you'll be able to leave the engine running and get out of the go-kart, and somebody else can get in without having to stop the engine. And this apparently needs to have oil in a certain way, and I don't know exactly how to do that yet, but I'll find out by calling the people that I bought the clutch from. Inside here is a little device. It's the set screw. They've given us a little set screw, and it has the blue thread locker on there, and that is used to tighten it down. It goes right in there. Now, as I say, the problem is this is 3/4 and this is 20 millimeters, so it doesn't fit. We're going to have to actually turn the shaft down on the engine. That'll be kind of fun to do. But that's where that mounts. That will drive this jack shaft assembly, which will then drive our gear. Now, we also have a band brake. This will bolt to the side of the sprocket like this and mount on the back axle. And then this band brake is how we're going to stop the thing, we hope. This will have a device that will pull that, and when it pulls that, it locks it up, and then the back wheels will stop the go-kart. The front wheels won't have a brake. The back wheels, which are big and heavy, it would be better to have front wheel brakes, and I imagine some karts probably do. Always better to brake the front wheels than the back, because that's where all the weight is. But this is how we're going to run the brake on this, and it should be fine. Here's our chain. Here's one hunk of chain. I got 3 feet of number 35 chain, and this looks like big fat bicycle chain to me. It doesn't look all that big, but it should be fine. And I got 3 feet, which doesn't look like enough, so now I have another 3 feet coming. Oh yeah, we can check that on the sprocket, as Margaret is doing, and it does fit very nicely. So that can go there. Now we have a piece of pipe that I bent in our new pipe bender, which I'll show you how to use as I learn how to use it too. I just bought it, and we'll be using this type of construction for the frame, so I just put that in here. Now we have all kinds of bolts, actually 2 kinds of bolts. We have a 3/4 for the front axles, and we have some 5/8, and we have the nuts, and we got some groovy nuts. These nuts have the nylon knot locking insert. I highly recommend these. These are really good because once you tighten them, even if they're not tight, they won't come undone because they have this nylon locking insert that grabs a hold of the threads. So since we have, let's go down here. What we have on the front wheels is we have a 3/4 inch bore, and we have these 3/4 inch bolts. So these are going to be mounting our wheels. If this were 5/8, which it isn't, as you can see, if this were 5/8, then we could just buy these parts, go-kart parts, but these aren't go-kart wheels, so we're going to have to make the steering spindles, and we're going to make them using these 3/4 inch bolts, and then we're going to use these 5/8 bolts as the kingpins. So that's really something that you might not want to do, but we're going to do it, and you can follow along.